complex is it's a whole single one take. Like
Oh God,
it's a pretty gnarly fucking action scene too.
Yeah,
I just remember
that movie. I remember watching the second one, being like, "Wow, the action scenes in this movie are really good for a sequel." I had that thought. I remember having that thought.
I found it weird
bringing this
because it
discussion
seemed
to the
half
web.
forced. But all I remember from Extraction that really stood out to me was when he got hit by the car, and it looked like he actually got hit by a car, and not just like
maybe he
rolled over the
did.
top.
Yeah, he may have, because
Fucking
that
method
scene
actor.
was that scene. They didn't cut the camera at all during that
Yeah,
whole
'cause-
scene as
I
they're
hope
moving.
Chris
through.
Hemsworth is okay. He just
Yeah,
took
it
that Honda right to the throat.
Yeah. I'm surprised they made a second one because they could have like made that first one, and that was it. The hero died. They could have done
Yeah.
that.
Well, it's like how Triple Canopy. That's another good one, I think. Yeah, Netflix had like that burst of like good action films, and they're like a.
I watched that new Netflix series, Three Body Problem. Has anybody watched that yet? Or
No, is it
started
good?
it? Holy shit, dude.
I've looked at
I'm
it.
gonna start it. The book was a
So hard to
terrible
read, huh?
book. It
was
not just hard to
apparently
read, it
designed
was-
to be bad to read, hard to read.
It's not just being bad to read, it's a bad story. It's bad.
I've put the book in on my list of books on my Google Play, but like the movie was so fun, or the show is so funny because I watched like the first 2 episodes last night, and my wife was like, "Oh, what's this show about?" And I was like 40 things. Like I can't even describe to you the plot of this fucking show. And if you ask me what Lost was about, I could sum that shit up in like 5 sentences, and I could tell you what Lost is about. This show is fucking so wild. I was like, well, there's physicists and a fucking video game, and I think there are aliens, and I think like it was fucking crazy. Like it's the only thing I've ever not been able to describe.
Here's the thing. The show, as has been reviewed, is incredibly dumbed down and reduced from the book.
And I like the show. I just didn't
that's not a critique of the
show. And 6 out of 8 and being like, I just watched 6 fucking episodes. No. I watched up to the 6th episode and I was like, they are not making a season 2 of this show. And I just watched 6 fucking episodes of a show that I got into and I actually enjoy. And I know they're never going to make this. Is canceled. This is canceled.
You think so?
Oh, come on, bro.
Ring of Power has come in for a 3rd
Did you actually read the books?
Yeah, I did.
So did you? I don't know where in the books series they send the brain to space. Yeah, marinate on that sentence I just said, by the way, guys. When they send the brain to space, I don't know where that happens, but like how are they going to have a season 2 of that? Like, what are they going to do? Like, how do you pitch that in a meeting? Like, well, we've got to finish the brain to space story and.
I mean, the books continue with it, so there is more story, but I finished the first one, which had been massively hyped as one of the great sci-fis, and it was so lazily transitioned from really interesting to like what's actually happening, and it's just such a garbage pivot that I had to go back and Google, and a bunch of people were like, yeah, we're kind of pretty sure that was Chinese online propaganda hyping to pump it up because the Three Body Problem's a Chinese author from the 90s. And they're like, we really feel like they kind of like did a lot of propaganda hyping on this book.
Oh, I wouldn't even doubt it because like what I read because I was like, oh, I want to read more about this book. So I started reading the reviews of the book, and there were all these posts being like, oh, it's intentionally written to be confusing, and it's intentionally written with the translation to make you feel hopeless, like people of Earth did. And I was like, what the fuck? Like they purposely made a Chinese translation of science fiction hard to read. Like it made me want to read it less, and I was about to buy that shit. Like I was about to buy that book. So I was like, I'll just wish list it for when I'm bored.
It's like I'm not participating in your social experiment, bro. I'm just trying to read a story.
They've got such an interesting premise of sci-fi going one direction, and then you find out at one point the laziest thing is like, well, we can't send anything at the speed of light except for particles. So what we did was instead we invented folding dimensions of space, and we folded 2 supercomputers down to be the size of 2 particles so that we could shoot them at light speed.
Yeah, exactly. That's the part you found weird. My thing was this sending the brain to space when they're like, well, we can't send the whole human, so why don't we just find somebody who's dying and we'll send just his brain, and then hopefully they catch this probe and reconstitute the human. I was just like, get the fuck out of here! Like
that's further down the books. My lost point was it's like, so instead of having this awesome, crazy physics bending shit, it's just, what if we just like create 16 more dimensions and then we can fold it into a molecule?
Oh, but there were so many other plot points like that just holes, just physics holes in that whole like you know, that little helmets that they put on and like experience the game or whatever through. Like, how'd those get to Earth? Like, I thought they could only send particles. How are they going to send advanced like technology like that? Are like
they can send information.
Just took millions of years over and over.
They can broadcast information.
So
who built that shit? You know,
they're religious followers on Earth.
Oh, I get. Yeah, see, that's never explained in the show. Those helmets and so for 8 episodes, I'm sitting here like, how the fucking helmets get? How the helmets get to Earth, man?
Tell me how the fucking there's so much story unfolding in front of him. He's like, but these fucking helmets, though.
And that's just one part of it. And it gets really interesting. Like the story, the way they boiled it down, it gets so good in the last 2 episodes of the Netflix series that I'm like, they're never going to make a season 2 of this. I don't care how popular this gets on Netflix. They will never make a season 2 of this fucking show. And it's so frustrating because the show is actually pretty good sci-fi. Like, I got sucked in real quick.
They are going to make another season of Rings of Power. So that's unfairness demonstrated.
Is that the Amazon show?
Yeah.
Well, you know, fucking Bezos, he actually likes watching that show, so he has the billions of dollars. Like,
he's like,
man,
do
the
it
shit
anyway.
I'd be putting out to fucking TV.
Wallet. Yeah.
We'd be on like Fast and the Furious 30 by now if I had $2 billion at my disposal to just greenlight whatever fucking movie I want. You want to see Back to the Future 8? It's happening
Coming this fall.
Yeah, exactly.
Back to the Future 9 coming this spring.
We got Michael J. Fox back. He's not happy about it, but we got him.
I would put him in his feeding tube.
Well,
go back in time and see if we can find the cure to ALS.
Could I get a D20 from everybody?
Oh, I hope I win this because, like, I don't remember a thing that happened last week.
Oh, damn it.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. All right.
We're missing...
So our main character, Dominic Toretto.
That's funny.
Chuck has not rolled.
Okay, well, they're so late to this table that they get to do it. How about that?
You.
Instituted... Oh, yeah.
You need to roll.
I did roll.
What'd you roll? Because it's not in the chat.
Oh, somebody has the same dice as me, and I never rolled.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I thought that 2 was mine. It's you.
Yeah.
Yay, it's
you
not
got
me.
the spectrums, too?
That I just rolled that. You still have not rolled. Oh, my God.
All right.
I got
Lucky
yeah.
Last time, we had finally gotten back to the main town.
Voltsnu. It's okay.
Voltsnu. Thank you.
Remember for a bit.
We had finally gotten back to Voltsnu, and we had worked our way through the town square, making our way back to the Weeping Willow, where we did meet back up with Telmir of the Althsteir Wardens, who thanked us for the delivery of the cart, gave us our due, and gave us a nice little lead that in the Dwarven Quarter there was a blacksmith who was willing to pay for large quantities of of sort of the magical ore that we had found that had multiple sort of magical effects, because he wanted to forge them into magical objects. Of course, he was running a sort of brokerage firm where he gets the supplies, gives it out to the artisans, and the artisans create their magical weapons. In doing so, he said that there was a great deposit sort of out of town, out to west, I think, along a river, and we had, yeah, and we got to the sort of river, got to sort of the bend that was described, and as we sort of arrived, we were ambushed by a group of monkey-looking creatures who had the ability to attack, grapple us, and then teleport up and drop us from extreme heights. The battle went pretty well. We had some rough rolls, but managed to kill the monkeys, managed to take a long rest, and now we're sort of waking up and trying to track down large quantities of ore so we can get paid by the dwarves.
Those little monkeys were bastards.
Yeah, they weren't great. Yeah.
And they could have been worse.
Oh yeah.
Just for everyone on the stream to see, these are what they encountered.
Yeah, little bastards.
And as you drove off the last of them, you were planning to kind of huddle up and get a long rest in? Or it looks like you did actually, except for Lavas.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah.
I didn't take a
And
rest
Chuck.
either. Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
don't think.
Coey.
Coey didn't either.
How do we
Yeah,
do
that's
this
what we
again?
sort of ended on.
It's across the top of your character sheet, and it looks like a little tent icon.
Ah, okay, cool.
The fork and knife is the short rest. As you awoke the next morning, snow is falling as it's probably added a couple more inches of depth. It's gray and overcast with a slight breeze, and it's continuing to fall, but only lightly. As you wake up the next morning, you can see that there's kind of a slush on the surface of the river moving by, but not frozen solid by any means.
I
What
believe
does
we are
everyone do first?
probably because they'd give us some sort of map direction, so probably try to orient ourselves first, see if we're reasonably close to where they had indicated.
Yeah, I think we were close to like maybe within 30 minutes to an hour of where it would have been.
You can give me a survival check if you'd like to.
Mm.
You're more or less within a day's travel of the area.
We're sort of huddling over the mat after while making breakfast.
Harkin, looking it over, you think you are right around the correct area as there was a described bend in the river where you could collect it.
Yeah, seeing that he'll kind of point out, be like, you know, from what I can see, like this looks about right from what was described, and he'll kind of like point to like the bend he can see.
You think so?
I'm fairly confident.
Hmm.
I mean, we can always try, and if not, we can follow the river up and then see how far off we are. I mean, we're already here. Might as well check, right?
The scale must be off on this map. Yes. But yes, good idea. We'll check here and then.
Maybe those other folks that were gathering this stone, they left some equipment back here, or maybe there's some signs of where they were mining also.
Yeah, if any luck, we can find that man who went missing, and maybe he already has some that we don't have to go searching for.
Would be nice, but
There-
you said what, Ovi? Oh, I'm sorry.
No, there's just the rocky embankment that goes up about 5 or 6 feet over here. And so you'd have to scale down to be along the edge of the river.
Perhaps we travel down and see if there's any easier paths down before we tackle this drop.
Does
'Cause
anybody have any rope?
I don't
as
think
a
so.
Let me
matter
look.
of fact, I do have some rope.
What about pythons?
No pythons on hand. Those don't exist.
Oh, you mean Gettins? There's just a ton of pies.
Pittance is when you
Delish.
have little of anything.
I am quite full
Ah.
of delicious, delicious pies.
I don't have no pitons, but perhaps we can fashion some out of some of this rocks or fallen trees here.
I guess we could tie it to this tree, and he'll point to the one here, since it's already so close to the cliff.
It should work.
It'd be an easy scale down from there. Remember, it's only like 6 feet down and there's snow, so if you jump down, worst you're going to get is a twisted ankle.
Lose all your health points.
To be
Wait.
hobbled for the whole day, just walking in like half your speed.
I would like to backflip.
If you'd like to backflip, you can go ahead and give me an acrobatics check.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
He's like, I want to do a strength instead.
Oh, you'll be fine.
Otherwise,
Oh,
you can
yeah.
do an athletics check and just try to scale down the edge. Or tie off the rope if you want to be babied down.
I'll do the. Can you roll the athletics check for me? I'll try
Yeah.
to do that. I'll just try to, whatever.
You got a 5 as you slip and fall back into the snow, knocking the air out of your lungs as you look over and you can see that there is a like melon-sized rock an inch to the right of your head.
Sykes is gonna see what he thinks is someone that should scale this easily, like fall, and he's gonna just he's gonna pull the rope off. He's gonna like tie it to the base of this over here. He's gonna.
You okay,
gonna-
Chuck?
I think we,
Oh my
come
god!
down here. He's gonna like scale down on this side over here.
Some of the world's greatest dangers are in the mundane.
Yeah, good tip. I'll try to remember that next time. Oh.
Would have been awesome, though.
You could have waited like 2 minutes, bud. Like that was real easy climbing down that rope.
as the rest of you scale without a check, you are on a combination of snow and ice that kind of bleeds over the edge of the river. So any kind of a misstep, you could be stepping onto what is actually just thin ice and then, step into the water itself. And so while you're probably not going to die, it's a slow moving current. You'll end up with some wet soaking shoes.
Sucks for a whole day.
Could I get a perception check from each of you as you make your way down here?
Oh, fuck's sake.
Ooh. I'll roll for Chuck. Chuck with the 18, looking around through here, does spot a faint bluish glowing rock at the bottom of the river. Assuming he points that out.
Hmm. I feel like you're waiting for me. Did I miss the first half of that sentence? Am I supposed to point something out?
You spotted a potentially interesting rock at the bottom of the river.
Yeah, I'm not going to point that out. No, of course I am. Hey guys, look at this thing. Is it the melon rock?
It is not the melon rock. That was a
Oh.
regular rock that almost killed you.
It was about the size of a boob. Hey guys, check this rock out. Is this normal? Is this one of those mundane things that I should be afraid of?
No, Chuck. Actually, I think you should go in and grab it.
What color is it?
Faintly blue in color,
Ooh, yeah. I'll go over
but
there
it's
and pick it
about
up.
4 feet underwater.
Oh shit! And you said it's slightly frozen over.
Kind of slushy texture.
How deep's the river? Can I toss like a stone or something in there?
4 feet.
Oh god damn it! Do we have that rope? Did we use that rope? Did we bring it with us, or did we leave it attached to the thing?
I mean, I feel like
I was
with the
trying
way
to
the
figure out-
rope is, we could have probably ran like a double line down, and I could have just like
Yeah.
pulled it down as we all came down.
Okay.
You mean at all
Uh,
of 6 feet up?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
We only got 44 feet to play with, and
So
All right. Well, it's right there. How far away is it? Would you say in the water? A couple feet, you said.
About 8 feet away and then 4 down.
Just think, Chuck. Maybe wash some of the dirt out of your mop so you can clean extra well while you're down there.
Are you implying my mop is fucking dirty?
I just implied that you clean a lot of dirty things with your mop, and maybe some.
Oh, I
tender
clean up
love and
mess
care.
with this mop. I clean up mess with this mop. Mess you don't even know about. All right. Look, who here's a good swimmer? Really? Nobody? Do you think we had a pool at that monastery?
Yes.
Think I had a lot of beach time
I mean,
out
that
there? I'm assuming I've
sort
never
of
seen a beach. I've only read about them in books.
You know what, Chuck?
well, our
Just
You
Or-
sailed
I-
into a beach.
Okay, I've seen a beach. Yeah, I saw one
You
one
sailed
time.
off from a beach.
It actually was nothing like what it said it would be in the books.
is swimming like well, I might be okay. Well, and I have high con and athletics. I might be
While
better
he's
for
talking
this.
to himself, I want to be tying one end of the rope around my waist, and I'm just like shaking my head.
Shame.
How big?
Shame
How
on
big
all
is
of
the? How big is the rock? Look.
Yeah, that's the other part. Is like, does he need more than one person? Now that he's pointed it out.
It looks maybe twice the size of a fist, but that's 10 feet away and through the refraction of the water.
Yeah. Also, don't know
I
how
have-
heavy that object that size is going to
As
be.
everyone's like going through that, Sykes is gonna go. He's gonna start digging through his backpack. He's gonna pull out his mess kit here, and he's gonna look at like one of the bowls and maybe like something that he'd cook with, and see if it would like be big enough to maybe scoop with. He's gonna like kind of size it up over the river.
Alright, can you hold this for a second? I just give him the other end of the rope, and I walk over and just head first into the.
You're sure you want to do?
stream.
Oh, there he goes.
I'm in the stream already.
Oh shit!
Maybe done this a little easier, but
This is some
He's in the water.
racing polar bear kind of cold.
Yeah. Look,
Um,
I didn't want to say it out loud, but Chuck has done this exact maneuver into the latrines of the monastery, which were oddly enough also 4 feet deep, and would freeze over during winter. Okay, so he's done this before, just not in water.
nice.
So this
nice.
should be a breeze.
I mean, I would say that Chuck looks like some kind of he looks like a cat swimming. Have you ever tried to watch a cat swim? They don't really swim; they just kind of flail until they
Oh,
move
yeah.
through the water. That's kind
They're
of what
very
Chuck is
upset.
doing. He's flailing in his own special Chuck way, trying
Keeping
to
his
get
head above
down.
water.
Yeah, he's not a great swimmer, but it's actually working. For some, it's like average swimming skills, I'd say.
Just hold it.
the cold is definitely making it look even less graceful and effective. And as you get a few feet away from the shore and you look down in the water, you can see fish swimming around in there. However, they look translucent, almost transparent, as each one of these is about 3 to 4 feet long.
I turn around and start swimming back. I'm just kidding. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what to do here. I mean, maybe they're friendly.
So are you
They
gonna
haven't
get the
done
stone
anything
or
yet?
what?
Yeah. They've been cool so far.
Yeah, I haven't been attacked. That's true. So I'm gonna try and swim faster. So I'm just flailing around more, basically.
Okay.
Like the exact
Yeah.
opposite thing they tell you to do when there's like sharks in the water.
So he's
That's that's what Chuck's doing. I'm thrashing. Yeah, it's actually more like thrashing.
They veer
I would actually
away
imagine
from...
that if the people on the riverbank saw this, they'd probably think I was drowning.
They veer away from you as you keep going, though you can see that they have a very long needle-like teeth. In the picture, that's what's visible, but their teeth are actually almost 2 inches long.
This is
Just
not comforting to
so thin that it's near impossible to make out the rest of the teeth.
I mean, maybe they're soft like hair. Maybe they got a mouthful of hair. That's what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Again, haven't been attacked.
But if you make your way out the rest of the way, you can see your foot just down near the rock, and to scale, you would figure that it's about 1.5 times the size of your fist.
Oh my god. Yeah, I'm gonna try and quickly dig this thing out. I have a dart in my inventory. Can I use that as like a tool? Like a digging tool?
If you're okay dunking yourself underwater.
I mean, I jumped in, didn't I?
But I mean, like, you're going to have to submerge your head down there.
Oh, I haven't been submerged this whole time. I thought I was like
No,
submerged.
the water's
kind of
only
floating on.
4 feet deep.
Yeah, I know, but he's actually a shitty swimmer. So by the sounds of it. Okay, yeah. I'll get under the water. I'm gonna put my whole ass head down there, and I'm gonna go for it because Chuck gets shit done.
Can I get a con save from you?
Like, why
You
did he swim out there?
absolutely
He could've
can.
just walked.
That's actually true. Chuck could have just walked in there. Oh!
as you sink down into the cold with a deep, controlling breath, you're able to, just like embrace it. So you've got that serenity in the cold. And as you make it to the bottom, you find out that the rock is loose and all it requires is picking up. You probably could have lifted it up with your foot.
How much does it weigh?
7 pounds.
And I'm only 8 feet. I could throw that to shore. I think you'd be able to throw that to shore. I'm gonna
Yeah.
toss
Oh,
the
yeah,
rock.
yeah.
Somebody grab the stone.
Uh,
I'm just holding
Harkin
on
will
to the rope.
start carrying stones, I guess, since he kind of forced Chuck in.
Oh, Harkin's got
Can-
probably got a huge strength score. I didn't even think of that.
Oh, he did what? No.
Harkin's a
Can I-
bard.
I mean, doesn't
Uh,
his race give him some kind of what? D&D's so broken.
Tieflings have never gotten a strength bonus that I can recall, so no. Plus, that's just so racist.
It's not racist. He's got a different
can-
color skin than me. Clearly, he can. He's
Wow.
gonna get some kind of bonus.
I don't even say that.
That's how humans think.
Can I make a perception check to see if I see any more stones? That I can direct him towards while he's in there.
There
Believe it
goes
or
the
not,
Twitch channel.
I don't think there's an item called rock.
Probably
about
not,
stone?
unsurprisingly.
What about stone?
Probably stone.
Nope.
Let's see.
I just created a new.
Yeah, I would just create something called blue rock.
Yeah.
As Chuck is in the middle, you can see when you dunk your head in that there appears to be another over here.
Am I gonna die? Do I have like frostbite? Like how am I feeling?
Not yet. It's very cold, but you're
He's gonna go
not
for
getting
it.
frostbite yet.
He's gonna go for it.
Sloshing through the water, you can see what almost looks like an 8-foot long eel go swimming away, except you can see that it has essentially two bodies that join together. So it's like two eel tails into one head.
The nightmare always get worse with you.
Yeah. Sykes is gonna like kind of grab the rope and like skirt the edge and like walk down the river with him as he's like making his way down there. Almost like he's,
Oh, and I'm anchoring behind him too.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep going for it. Like eels with two heads, body, whatever. I've seen worse.
As you make it to the next rock, this one is slightly larger, as it is almost twice your fist size and probably weighs about 9 or 10 pounds.
Okay, so I'm just gonna pick this up and just start heading to shore because I'm assuming I'm freezing to death right now.
You are, but as you get to about here to get the next rock, you can see that there's one visible on the shore on the other side of the river.
No, I'm just gonna go back with this one that I have here. I'm not gonna get too greedy with it. Chuck is freezing. He knows he's freezing. All he wants to do is sit by a fire right now.
As you kind of slosh back onto the shore with the two rocks recovered, that other one over here is still visible, and you are completely soaked and shivering fiercely as it almost gets colder as you get out of the water now.
There's a rock over there, the other side of the river over there. I'm gonna like try to start lighting a fire with like, I don't know if my stuff's probably dry. My pack's probably dry, so I probably have my fire starter there, but I'm probably still wet, like wet hands, and I'm trying to put together a fire.
Harkin will take the rock from him and put it into his pack. How heavy is the second one?
10 pounds.
So we have a total of 17.
Yeah.
You wish to climb and stay by the fire we had last night. It's still burning, and we will retrieve some of these other rocks for you. You've done well.
Thank you.
Yes, up the rope. I'll push him sort of up the 6 feet to get him back towards the campsite. Because I
And he
think
pointed
lighting a
it was-
fire on the ice
it was
would be a
here?
bad idea.
What was that question, Harkin?
Oh, is the other rock like here at this like little mouth?
Yeah. Although that's actually frozen over, so it appears to be solid ice here.
Okay.
Hmm.
Is it on the shore or is it underwater?
On the shore.
Okay. But well, who wants to go over?
Chuck stands up and starts like walking to the water.
No.
Chuck, no, not you.
Stay.
Just like sit back down.
I will go for this one. And yeah, not really any spells that help with this, so I'll just try trudging my way across.
As you get about halfway through, can I get a con save for you?
Okay.
You're doing okay. It does not feel good at all as your teeth are already chattering. And you glance over and you realize that there is a massive log spanning the river just about 40 feet away from you.
Fuck. That log.
It's fucking amazing.
But you do get to the other shore as you emerge dripping, shivering, and miserable.
Okay. Take the stone.
This one is lodged to rock, it seems.
Mm. Take one of my javelins, stick it in, try to leverage that bitch out.
You can give me an athletics check.
Sykes is gonna shout. Got this pickaxe over here. If you'd like me to throw it across.
Does it move on a 13?
It does not budge on a 13.
Yes, I'll probably need it.
Sykes, be careful not to hit him.
Very, very well. He's gonna pull that pickaxe that we got from the previous quarry, and he's gonna try to toss it over here onto the shore.
Can I get an athletics check from you flinging this pickaxe?
Watch your head as he Oh man.
Only a 30-foot throw.
As you fling this pickaxe, it goes spinning over, and as it strikes the ice, there is a flash of green light, and the ice disintegrates.
Oh no.
As it collapses from here to here. and breaks apart and the chunks of ice start flowing down the river.
Oh no. Oh no.
And the pickaxe sinks into the water.
Come on.
Valerian,
bud.
grab that before it makes its way down the river.
Well, I mean, it's a pickaxe. It sinks to the bottom.
Seriously.
Well, Harkin, it looks as though we know what the properties of this tool are now.
Instant obliteration.
It seems to.
absolutely.
I mean, it seems to destroy or disintegrate whatever you strike it with. So
So why?
Perhaps
didn't
we
you use
don't-
that in the fight?
perhaps we don't use that to pull these rocks out.
But they still
mean,
might
if-
work, but okay. I'm gonna go get it. Alright. We're on for this. Yeah. He'll jump in, I guess, after the pickaxe.
The pickaxe did sink right here because
Oh, right
it's
there?
it's
Okay.
metal. It doesn't really flow downriver. It has a faint greenish glow to the head of the axe, and by that light, you can see that there is a skeleton half submerged into the sandy, silty mud at the bottom of the stream here.
Hmm. Would I have known about or have heard anything about sort of stories of skeletons reanimating?
Definitely at least stories.
Okay. Well, he's noting that the skeleton's there. I'll yell that information over and just be like, if I don't come up, something has got me. And I'll go after trying to grab the pickaxe.
You are able to grab it. As you lift it up, you're still shivering, but the light kind of casts a reflection on this skeletal figure that's dressed in waterlogged furs, but you're able to retrieve it.
So when he threw the axe, the thing it struck disintegrated. I'm going to take the pickaxe and try to just hit the stone around it, sort of wedging it in to the crag here. Like at the stone that's holding it pressed in.
Okay. With that, you can give me an athletics check with advantage if you want to try to pry this stone with the pickaxe.
Oh.
Yeah, it's better.
As after some straining, it finally cracks off with some of the rock surrounding it, as the whole thing is about 18 pounds. So, it's like rock and this stone kind of mixed together, but you've got it liberated now. As you kind of stumble back and you look across, you can see that there is a rusted over short sword buried in the snow across the stream as well.
I'll probably make for that and sort of signal to the others. There may be more forward on this bend. Though if you want to cross, I would suggest that giant fucking log that didn't present itself earlier that I didn't see.
Were you waiting for an introduction?
No, I just don't look at things because I'm an idiot. And I'll try to make towards the coast here and just try to. So this was frozen and is no longer frozen.
Correct. And it's slowly breaking away further up as the water's flowing now.
Okay. I think I should be able to sort of hop across. It's like
Yes. Your strength score is plenty. Little running start, although give me an acrobatics check for the snow and the ice and the slush.
Yeah.
You make it. You make it.
Okay.
That was athletics. It should have been acrobatics, but that's fine.
Oh.
Well, Harkin, I think perhaps we use that log. Some of your friends seem insistent on doing things the hard way, but he makes a fine enough suggestion.
Yeah, that,
have
that
never-
does make sense to use that.
In my experience, if there's a tool to do the job, you should always use the tool. I guess Sykes starts looking for an easily area to scale up the wall, or make his way further down to the log and see if it's easier to climb up that way.
It's sloped, so it's not too hard to get down.
Like to get up to where we can cross the log.
Yeah, go this way.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so he's gonna traverse up the area here. He's gonna make his way over to the log. He's gonna continue to peer into the river, maybe to see if there's any more rocks or stones in the riverbed as he's making his way over.
Unfortunately, you don't spot them, though they are hard enough to see, and they can even sink into the silt. It seems for the ones in the riverbed, it's best if you're actually in the water.
Okay. He's gonna kind of give it like the foot test. He's gonna one leg on there. He's gonna kind of push on it to make sure it seems sturdy enough before he commits to crossing over.
Give me an investigation check. Let's see how well you do.
Man, it's the things I'm proficient in, I'm just rolling so low with right now.
Looks good.
Seems all right, and he's just gonna, maintaining his balance, but he's gonna, make his way over the log.
There's a little bit of creaking, and there's a little side-to-side wobble. Can I get an acrobatics check from you? You're doing okay, and then as you get about halfway, there's one slight curve to it that just makes it jolt at about a 45-degree angle. And the rest of you just watch as he slide shoots straight off of it down 7 feet into the water with a splash.
Oh, that is not great.
I'm sure he's fine, right? And Harkin will start making his way down the coast towards them.
It's not that bad.
Everyone's like, we've done it, it's good. Sykes is just like flailing about.
Do not fight the cold, embrace it.
Sykes, buddy, are you okay?
He probably doesn't know specifically where, oriented wise, he is with the river at this point. So he's just gonna look for the nearest bank of the river and just move that way.
Coming up spluttering, I'll need a con save from you for the cold.
All right, at least that one gets a good one.
There we go. You're all doing quite good. It's miserable, it's horrible, but you're not dying of pneumonia yet.
Yeah.
You are able to clamber up this side though as well if you want to get up there.
Yeah, I'll get up. I'll get up there. And then as he gets up there, he's gonna come around. He's gonna assume that maybe he was far enough that people didn't maybe see him. He's gonna like kind of stay like up, like higher on that bank up there. Maybe so like his shoulders kind of silhouette towards Harkin, but maybe not much more. And he's, hey, be a little careful towards the middle of that log. It gets a little slippery.
Oh no, did I see it?
You did,
Okay.
yes.
I was gonna say, did we hear it? Is the bigger.
You definitely heard it as there was like a heavy dun dun dun, and then and a splash.
Yeah, and probably like a guttural grunt or two.
Can I tell if he's wet from down here?
Yes. The
But-
shivering is extravagant.
So are you sure you didn't fall in? You look awfully cold.
Oh, I never said anything about falling, but just be careful. It is, yeah, and I am cold.
Quite refreshing, isn't it?
Just gonna make a quick check on my boots, make sure they're okay. See, like sit down on this rock right here. He's not gonna take his boots off, but he's gonna just like inspect like the heel and the seams of the boots and make sure they're doing all right. They're not getting frayed or destroyed by the water that he's just submersed them in the mud, probably from the bed of the river.
You make good boots. They are holding up.
No one's gonna pay a cobbler with shitty shoes.
Chuck wants a pair of those.
Philosophically, I wonder if I should trust a bald barber.
Or a skinny
Yeah,
chef.
this is actually perfect that your name is Chuck, because like something I thought just like kind of funny is like if he were to make his own shoe brand, it would be like Brooks, and Brooks is a shoe brand, and then maybe there's a pair of shoes, Chucks, that he can make.
The all-stars of the series.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Trademark. Said it first.
Yeah.
Copyright. Said it first. My idea.
So good. This is fantastic.
But you're able to
well,
make it the rest of the way around.
Okay.
Chuck just ends up getting sued by Converse, losing everything.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a closer look at this rusted sword here. It's just planted in the snow.
It
It's
seems
like a
almost like it
map
was
book or-
dropped in there,
Okay.
and it also seems to only be lightly rusted as it's only been exposed for a short while to the elements.
There have been many here, but there have been some here before us.
Wasn't there the last courier who went missing? Sloran?
It would seem so. This seems like a dropped piece of equipment, like maybe one of these creatures have grabbed him and he has dropped his weapon.
Oh.
Or her. My
Is there no body
apologies.
over there?
No body, but the water could have drawn that away.
Ah.
Are there any other? There's been fresh snow, so I don't know. But
Yeah,
any other
fresh snow.
indentations or marks or anything?
No.
Okay.
Sykes is gonna kind of inspect the creek bed, kind of this way as he like kind of skirts up along this this little face right here.
The ice is mostly eroded away here as it's back to a flowing stream again.
So, is the river flowing towards the larger body of water? Or
Yeah,
away from
it's
this body?
feeding into this one.
Okay. So, any heavy object might be collected more towards under the log if we are to scour this river.
I guess I can.
Should not be here. You suddenly hear from a voice over this way as a figure steps out with just the softest crunch of snow as you see a lightly dressed figure with light, almost grayish skin and what appears to be blue tattoos or paint, holding a three-pronged spear stepping into view. Not quite a menacing look, but certainly standoffish. What are you doing in these parts? This is not your territories.
Do I sort of recognize this figure?
You don't recognize the figure, but you could give me a history check.
Hell yeah, bro. Wrong word.
Okay. There's a few things you do recognize them about this figure. They appear to be of the same tribe or clan of Tirith Nor. The same ones that the procession was heading to with Neda. They're the nearest clan to these parts here. And this one seems to be wearing similar clan identifiers on them. And you can also tell by their appearance that they're likely a light caster themselves.
They're definitely a Delwyn. Or
Delwyn, yeah.
Delwyn.
As they kind of like raise the staff and sink the butt into the snow, they look at you with a little bit of warning and then step up onto this rock to have the high ground and they say, "What brings you into the wildlands?"
Cousin, we but search this land for resources to help build the strength of our tribe. We did not
Sykes is
mean
gonna
fence
kinda-
or trespass on any territory established, but we did not see the usual markings of territorial boundary.
Should know better than work with these. Why do you help the foreigners?
The foreigners offer new understanding into this world. We have done nothing but sit on these powers for too long. We have not but from our limited teachings from you and my mentors, we have but scratched the surface of what is possible. These outsiders, well uncouth, do provide insight that we have long put to the side.
As Sykes hears him say uncouth, he like kind of like straightens out his jacket a little bit, and he's like patting his pants down to make him like, what? He's looking at his nails, like he's like,
You know, wringing the water out of his shirt.
yeah, he's like, uncouth. Me?
Then you can share your fates with that one there.
Sloran, I thought you said there was no body.
When Sykes hears him say that,
said
he's
there
gonna
was
like
no
kind of
body.
try to hide behind this rock over here.
Your name is Solarin, then?
Yes.
All Delmwyn will know you as traitor, then? Outcast.
All Delwyn will already known me as betrayer, as I was cast out from my land and murdered my chieftain. But no, you will not know the truth of the absolute the absolute torment that the chieftains rake upon the rest of us. You with your tradition, you with your elder ways, have not embraced the truth of this land, and you will suffer for it. The only way for survival is progress, and you have fallen to nothing but what from these weak elders have told you.
There's a long moment's silence in almost taken abackness at this tirade that's been launched back.
Can I tell if Solarin's telling the truth, or is he putting on a front?
You can give me an insight check.
It's alphabetical. It's alphabetical. Why can't I find it? There it is.
He's a hard read, especially with this exaggerated anger. This Delmwyn elf takes a look of, so be it then. Enjoy your time in the wild. Fazhook and Kraspar will deal with you. And starts to stride away in the snow, disappearing behind a tree remarkably quickly.
Probably not being part of these tribes, I probably have no idea what they're talking about.
You do recall that the horrible monkey-like creatures were called Fazhooks.
Oh yeah.
So,
Like all the
And-
best cowards of this land. They leave us to the violence.
as the elf leaves you to your own, what do you do next?
Arden's gonna head back and make preparations for us to leave, just in case they decide to come back.
Sykes is gonna do a pretty decent check of this area up here to see if maybe there were any stones or signs of any other people up in that area, in his location up here. I guess in this place, since he's the only one that's up here.
Could I get a perception check from you on that?
Yep. Man,
Oh no.
goodness.
Unfortunately, you don't turn up any others, you suspect any that are around here have ended up in the river, and it was just a fluke of one of them being on the outside.
Solarian, I've checked this area pretty thoroughly, and I don't see anything. Looks as though if there are any more stones, they're gonna be down in the riverbed. And
Yes, I was afraid of that.
gonna make his way back over this way and just ask, well, did you need any help down there, or should we make our way back? I don't want to be caught out here with any more of those things we saw last night.
I will do what I can to check this corner. But as we do, keep your eyes not only to the trees, but to the skies. the Kraspa could be drawing upon us. You'll see them glint upon the light. If you see it, look up and see a distortion across the light. Do not think it's a trick of your eye. It could be one of them. They're...
Sykes slipping into paranoia. He moves under this tree and he just kind of posts here while Solarian's gonna make his move. But he'll start looking up as he's like kind of sitting by the tree in the rock. He'll be kind of like just surveying the area on lookout.
I'll jump back across here and then sort of go towards the bend and, yeah, dive in and try to find.
As you go back into the water, can I get another con save from you, but with disadvantage, as you're now spending prolonged time?
Oh, that's not great.
You're only about 20 seconds in as you are going very numb and blue in the face, and you can tell that you are running out of time before you are need to warm up. But you can give me a perception check as you're poking around in there. You spot one much smaller one over this way, but that's all that you've spotted there.
I will try to make a mad sort of dash to that and then pick it up on my way out of the river.
Splashing along, you do make it and pick it up, as this one is about the size of a walnut.
Oh.
And then you emerge out onto the shore once more.
I cannot continue.
Yeah, I'd say you're pretty mad to have made a second dive.
Chuck, you were going to be warming up by a fire, was that right?
Hopefully.
Harkin, maybe you would be helping him with that?
Yeah, Harkin will help. He kind of feels bad for pressuring Chuck.
And Sykes, are you heading back?
Yeah, Sykes is gonna go round 2 on the log. He's gonna be pretty cautious this time, kind of knowing where he had slipped off by, where the tracks, the footprints kind of end, and there's just like a straight line to the side. He's gonna know that's kind of where he slipped last time.
Knowing that you are able to kind of sidestep it and avoid making it worse. As you all end up on the southern bank together, of 4 of these stones that you found. There is a small fire going back up on the embankment for warmth if you want to congregate there.
Yep. Probably head back up to the
Sykes
fire.
starts making his way over there.
As you spend a few minutes drying off, you are able to avoid getting much worse, although Solarin in particular doesn't seem to be too well off, as he's shivering and blue long after his clothes have dried once more.
It's winter. Well, we have somewhat of a hull.
Yes, we do.
I'd like to take a little bit longer of a look at these rocks. These dwarves put a lot of stock in them. Wonder what other mysteries they have hidden in these stones.
Probably do that on our way back. I don't feel like this area is so safe anymore after that encounter with that local.
Scouts of Tirith Nu are here, and no longer is my name any stopgap to what they might do to you if they think you're trespassing on their land. We will be treated as outsiders. We maybe need
What's-
to head back.
You prepare to set off then, satisfied with your haul?
Arkham would vote yes to that.
Yeah, be good for now. I mean, Slaren's freezing.
Yeah,
Would.
I think about 30 so pounds.
Yeah.
Unless like more of that weight on the one with the rock still attached is mostly rock, but
About half, probably.
yeah, so it's probably close to 30, probably a little less.
Yeah, like 26 around, it looks like 26, 27.
And while we owe 4 pounds of that in cost, that's still
Oh, yeah.
a very healthy profit at what 20 gold a pound. If these are the rocks they're
Mhm.
looking for.
Yeah. So our Solaren is definitely a little off because he's always had these sort of ideas, but having sort of a guard of another clan declare him an enemy of the nation, he's kind of a little off right now. Yeah, or in his own head.
Arkin's trying to try to get him to open up about what happened.
I just missed that last little bit. Do we determine about like the average weight the total weight that we had of the stones? Is that what it was?
About like 25 to 27, something around there.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I imagine that walnut-sized one is probably like a couple of ounces,
Almost a pound.
almost pound. So yeah, about right.
If he's pushing him, Solaren would. We have been here for generations. Lightcasters have been around forever, and we've always stuck close to tradition. But in the small time that these other races have been here, there have been leaps and bounds in the development and the harnessment of this power that we have seen as obscene or out of balance. But it is what weakens us as a whole. If we are going to survive, me and my people, with all this influence, we must adapt and use whatever I have around. These traditionalists are weakening us, though I am most definitely the minority in thought.
That kind of resonates with Sykes a little bit, as he hears that and he thinks of like what he wants and his purpose in relation to his group too. He kind of looks over at Solaren and I agree. We working together can prove a fruitful future. Not just for one, but maybe for all.
believe you are right, Green One. And I believe many have misjudged your kind in the past.
I mean, it's only till recent that we haven't given a reason to not.
That rings of truth from all that I've experienced as well. And just do respect knuckles across the fire.
Was not expecting that, but okay.
But we are close. If we continue to dive, we can extract more. But we will not go unnoticed for too much longer. Or unchallenged, I should say.
What if that guy said he was going to pay us for these things?
20 gold a
per
pound.
Minus 4 pounds of that for me and Koei.
Down payment.
So that would be like 22 pounds times 20. Probably not all
That's
at once
pretty good.
because I don't know how much gold he actually has on hand.
Well, I'd like to hold on to a couple, and perhaps that would come out of my pay. I would like to study these stones.
How about you take that smaller
The
one that
walnuts.
Slaren found?
Very well. I do appreciate it.
I mean, that gives me a good idea. Why are we even selling these things? Like, look how hard these were to get. Like, clearly there's a market for them. Like, why don't we try to make magic weapons for ourselves?
Smithing isn't quite the easiest.
No,
if you
I
don't
mean, like,
understand
not like
the
actually
material.
making them ourselves. I'm saying we'll find somebody who knows how to do this, you know, and maybe we'll
Well-
trade them a couple of the stones for their experience.
We
I mean,
are
could, we
paying
don't-
for his already established connections.
Yeah.
I mean, we can try to start a new brokerage, but it might be difficult if the artisans refuse.
Yeah. We don't want to make too many enemies there because what if Benjin has them boycott us?
Yeah, maybe
We
you're
can't get
right.
anything from them. I'm not saying
I
we have to sell
mean,
them
there's-
everything we have, but perhaps we can make a compromise and do both, where we hold on to the material, some of the material for our own use.
I
But
mean, I just got greedy for a second. Okay, look at these.
I
things.
mean,
They're
there's
20 gold a
there is
pound.
something in what
They
you're
are
saying,
cool.
though, Chuck.
Mhm.
I mean, if it's other alternate routes of trade you'd like to seek, perhaps I could send word to some folks I know in Durkheim, and we can offload some to them as well.
No, I mean, like I haven't really gotten the hang of making money yet. I'm just trying to wing it, but this just seemed like a little opportunity for us.
Well, I can't say I'm very great at it, but I did tell you we'd be making more money. I mean, that is a line of thought that I'd say is appropriate to explore if you are looking to exploit these resources.
I'll exploit the shit out of these resources. I will clear cut this whole forest for $10. No
No,
offense, Valerian.
Now, it is important that we abide by the contracts that we had Solarian here sign on our behalf. But
Okay.
as far
guess
as I
that's
can
fair.
re-
Fine, so-
as far as I can
admit
remember,
it.
as far as I can remember, the part of that was to not disclose the location
we
That's
did
right.
sign
Or-
an
You
NDA.
know
or
what
the
stuff
use-
is, yeah.
or the or how to use to other individuals. But I don't recall.
I don't think legally we should be talking about this right now.
As
We're
he
breaching
here
our
as
NDA.
Sykes
Yeah, I mean-
hears,
we're streaming right now. You might be in breach of
Oh god,
contract.
they all seen it. No.
Yeah, we should turn off the stream. Oh shit, we're gonna get sued.
I mean, that's a conversation we would have had, right? If we're having it, we're having it. So,
Oh yeah, definitely.
and so if, like once the conversation turns sour, Sykes, yeah, well, I think you're right there, Harkin. Perhaps we just hold on to a little bit. We don't quite know how much gold he'll have, and we may need to save some to sell later.
Very much so.
To him, of course. Back to Benji.
I mean, perhaps in the future, if we ever make it out to the orc encampment, maybe they're paying either equal price or a little bit more. He didn't say we only had to sell to him.
That
Just
was
not
my
to-
point. In fact, earlier, I just can't share with the orcs how to use the material or the location.
Yes. But anything you learn on your own, you should be able to share. Would you not? Was the
With
agreement only
that,
for what he
Sykes
taught
kind of
you?
has like a hesitating moment. And he replies with, I think for now, what I learn, I'll keep to myself. Best not to create enemies in such a budding town.
Perhaps you're right.
I will share with you guys, of course, but I would hate for Benjin to feel as though he was right in his assessment of my character. I mean, I am here to help you guys and myself prosper, but at the same time, I don't see it fruitful to go against such a lucrative deal at this point.
Then we make back to this Benjin.
As you pack up and begin to set off then with your haul, could I get a survival check from one of you?
Harden will try.
Well, thank goodness.
There you go.
Thank goodness.
As you set off, you begin trucking along through sparse forest, interspersed with some of those rocky crags that you've seen in this region, which is part of what this region is known for, being called the Cairn Coast. As you venture along, you see a number of very foreign creatures, many of them small woodland beings, but quite unlike anything that you've encountered in the past territories. As you can see long, skinny, lizard-like things, almost larger than iguanas, but with patches of fur on them, like frills of fur, almost like a lion's mane, but white. There's other creatures that seem like squirrels, but with about hair 3 times as long, and tails that are so large and bushy that they almost equal the entire volume of the rest of the body.
Bishobobs.
And fox-like creatures, but about twice as large, with teeth closer to a saber-toothed tiger in their like long protrusions, and with claws that actually jut upwards instead of going down. They jut up, so as they walk, the claws don't go into the snow. They watch you from afar, but give you a wide berth as you're crossing through the area. And can I get a survival check from each of you? Sorry, perception. My bad.
Nope.
Sorry.
Oh, that's better. Excellent.
As you're traipsing through the snow, Chuck, Harkin, and Salarn hear somewhat far off and to the south of you what sounds like cries of distress and pain, possibly of combat or some other torture, but it sounds as though someone is very much in distress. And then you hear a faint boom emanate from that direction as well.
Travelers are in peril. We must assist.
Or steer very clear.
Hmm?
What does
How do
the group look like? Like, do they look like humans or?
You don't see them, you just hear.
Ah. Harkin's willing to go see what's happening.
Hey, where are you off to? Because Sykes didn't particularly notice anything.
There seems to be a commotion over that way, and he'll kind of point the way that he believes he heard the noise.
There seem to be travelers in distress. We are honor bound to at least observe.
Yep. Perhaps we don't get too close though. If they're traveling, I'm sure they've got the help they need.
So kind of trying to approach sneakily.
Yeah.
Okay. You can give me a stealth check then.
Everybody.
Are we all rolling?
If you're trying to approach discreetly so as to not just dive straight into trouble.
Oh, whatever. That's fine.
I'll roll for Chuck.
I rolled. I got a 13.
Oh, there it is. Yep. Sorry, I didn't see you.
That didn't make much of a difference.
As you're moving along, you're not doing fantastic, but you certainly suspect that any trouble will be distracting everyone else. As you come along, you come into view of a clearing where the forest is less dense, and you can see across the clearing two figures in distress with splurts of blood across the snow. One of them dressed in plate armor, the other one in just robes. As they're shouting, and the one in armor is swinging his sword around, though you do not see at what. As you get to about there, you suspect you haven't been spotted yet. what do you do as you see clearly blood and distress? The figure over here is swinging and looking around in distress as he's limping, blood trailing down one of his legs. There is a gash through the robes of the figure over here, and he's covered in snow as well.
But we don't see what they're swinging at, just that he's swinging
You-
at something.
You do not, though you are also a good 200 feet away.
Well, if this is something that we not want to get in, I certainly think that we can most definitely be on our way. I might have something to help with that.
You see from the mage here 3 glimmering bolts of greenish glowing color fly out from his hand and go sailing across. As they kind of zip and wind around, they slam into something, and as the bolts hit, you realize that there is a figure that looks almost like a tree, but in darkness over here that's just been struck.
Perhaps we should help these people.
If you deem it so, but I don't quite like fighting things I can't see.
At least
If
with
you
more of
are
us, perhaps they'll have a better chance to flee.
If you're in distress, do you wish others to come to your aid?
Well, you put it that way, Solarin. I guess we could help.
Then, if you choose to engage, I'm going to throw everyone into initiative there, even though you can only just barely make out the assailant that they're engaged with. Koe is the first. She'll go darting forward, but take the lead of everyone else. As you can see, the creature that's just been struck moves forward and throws itself at the armored figure. You can see as a bolt of fire goes sailing across and strikes it. Sykes, why don't you go next?
All right. Sykes is gonna use a good old bonus action hide right now. And that's a stealth check.
Yes.
All right. Not
Very nice.
Not bad, not bad. He's gonna make his way, I guess. Let me try and see what we got here. Does my short bow range that creature?
It is out of standard range, but I believe it is within max range.
So that would be
Disadvantage. Straight roll because you are hidden.
okay.
Because your short bow has a max range of 320, but standard of 80.
You know what? I'll just continue my movement. I'll use my action to continue my movement. Another 3 feet. Trying to stay kind of like hidden still.
Okay.
Sticking to the brush in the trees here, and then yeah, that's what I'll do.
Harkin.
Harton is going to double check my movement speed. Okay, I never find it. There it is. Okay. Is going to, I guess, dash as far as he can so he can get closer to this fight. How far is that? 55? 60? Yeah. Oh. Yeah, it's 60. And kind of like yell towards the fight, trying to draw attention of the creature if he can.
Okay. That's a free action for you.
So he'll yell something like, "Hey, you shadowy, deceitful being! Why don't you fight a real challenger?" And then that'll be all Harkin does.
Okay. There's almost a sound like the creaking of wood as practically emerging from this tree over here steps forward some almost resembling the dryad that you'd encountered before, but horribly distorted, black and shadowy as this figure emerges from the tree.
Oh goodness.
Corrupted tree folk.
Gross.
As it steps out, it emerges almost like broken and disjointed. And as it appears next to you, it looks over towards the others and it points out one twig-like hand as bursting out of the snow grows vines and branches and other terrain that seems to practically grab at all of you as you are blanketed in this thick, overgrown terrain. As it encases all of you, it slows you down immensely as it is costing you 4 feet of movement for every foot that you travel.
Oh.
So they essentially like quarters our movement, more or less.
Quarters your movement while you're in this terrain here.
That is a big fucking template. Jesus.
That is a permanent. It's not supposed to go down after one turn. Give me a second. It is a 100-foot radius. It was not meant to disappear. So there we go. Chuck, as like every time you lift your foot, vines are practically wrapping around your ankles and trying to pull you down. It is a slog for every step that you take, every move you make.
I don't know monks well enough to know what their movement is. I think I can move. I don't even know what my movement is. With these
Your
things.
movement
Do they
speed
have
is
any special-
45. Yes, monks move very fast, so you have a 45-foot movement speed at this level. In
But it's
addition,
But that's quartered.
it is
right?
quartered, correct. In addition, you can use 1 key point to dash as a bonus action.
So I'm dashing 10 feet per turn.
10 feet of regular movement, another 10 feet if you dash, and another 10 feet if you use a key point in bonus action dash. Altogether, that will give you another 5 feet of movement because I'm having to round down.
Okay, so 35 feet of
30.
movement total.
If you burn a key point.
And I
Exactly.
will- okay, I'll do that.
So
And-
you like double down like a linebacker training and start running full speed, but it's like you're wearing one of those parachutes that slows you down. And so you're like running so hard and moving so slowly.
Gross, 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 gross.
Every step you're stomping down on like rotten vines and branches. They're trying to trip you and grab you, but you pull through all of them. And that is your action, your bonus action, and your full movement to get there.
Sounds good to me.
Solarin.
Cool. All right. Um, Solarn is going to. Okay, so if it's cornered. So basically, like 5 feet.
It is 7.5. So yeah, round down unless you dash.
Yeah. I'm gonna try something here. I'm gonna move 5 feet up, and then Solarn is going to use a focus blast to shoot a beam of radiant light 30 feet sort of in front of him, hoping that that might do something to the to the grass or to
Okay.
the plants. So that's
I mean, the upside is if it doesn't do anything, you don't even burn a light die. Well, no, sorry, that one is not based on fails. So yes, it does burn a light die.
yeah, because the D6 is just light die consumed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna try one light die and go template go. Shoot at 30 feet.
As you send that off, there's brilliant sparkles of light as you're sending off this beam of brilliant light over the snow. And so it almost glances up and reflects in all directions. And there's a narrow furrow of melted snow down the line, but the plant life seems unfazed by it.
Okay. So
Anything else
I
for
guess,
Solarin?
well, action dash to move 5 feet more this way.
So that gets you 5 more feet because that turns into 15 if you dash.
Oh, okay, cool.
Like I said, it has to round down, but I'll credit that back if you dash.
All right, I'll move there. But yeah.
Lavas looks around and is just like, the hell is this? Solarn is going to use a phase step to simply teleport himself 30 feet over this way. Unfortunately, he's very much in the light, so he'll draw his bow, level, and take aim as he fires, and hits that creature there with a shot from his bow. There's another sound like a crunching or cracking of wood as emerging from it appears a second such creature here. It raises a hand, and even more thorns and branches rise up from the ground as you watch it step back, completely unfazed by the heavy growth. As you're all encapsulated in it, you take no damage in this moment, but you are just surrounded by 3-inch tall thorns now growing up from the vines and the branches already. The mage here turns around at the commotion, and because Harkin called out audibly, sees whatever is assaulting you and flings another firebolt this way, hitting it. Solarin. You are on mute, I think.
Well, that's not great. Let's see. He's still 45 feet out. It's also 45. I'll move the 5 hit this way. And I guess take that
As
3.
3 piercing damage. Yep.
Yeah. And then I'll take a chuck with the javelin at this guy. Ooh.
Hit with disadvantage as it sails across and catches it. You watch as the javelin buries into it, and it just looks mildly annoyed at you from that strike.
And yeah, flame strike is melee. Can't do nothing about that. Yeah, that's it for me.
Chuck. Surrounded now by thorns along with the vines and branches, it looks like rough going and unpleasant to step across. If you're with us.
Yes. Do the thorns just cause damage? They don't slow me any further, do they?
Not further. There is one way to interpret it that it actually also halves your movement, turning it into 1/8. But that
That's what
seems very unfair.
That seems like punishment.
Yes.
Okay.
I think it's probably
Cool. I also-
stackable. Yeah.
That's just one of those that I put as a disclaimer that if another DM says it does that, I wouldn't disagree.
I totally understand. And then I can burn a key point and do a. Wow,
So as
I'm
you-
rolling like ass.
Well, you did hit one. As you trudged through the thorns, you did take 8 piercing damage.
What?
Stepping on thorns.
Also, with a monk, you can hit if you have like a quarterstaff or your kensa. You can hit with that and still get your bonus action unarmed and your fury of blows unarmed.
Oh, okay.
Correct. Yeah. How far did you move?
20 feet.
Okay.
I think.
I'm putting you next to this thing. That's the enemy there.
I think that's
Unless
actually
you
where
were
I
wanting. Okay. I don't know how he moved then. That's weird. Okay, so you give him that rap bap bap. Sykes.
Am I do I have to make another hidden?
No. You only make a fresh stealth check if you break stealth for any reason.
Okay. Yeah, Sykes is gonna look at this guy that just popped up. He's gonna attack him with the short bow that he's got.
Okay, you'll do so with advantage if you want to hold Alt down.
Yep, I sure do. Can I add sneak attack to that?
You can because you had advantage.
For an extra whopping 1. There you go. Goodness.
D's get degrees.
All right. Well, that was my action. I'm gonna use my move and my bonus action. I guess I'm not hiding any longer.
No.
So I'm gonna use my. I can move 15 feet if I dash.
Correct.
So I'll just use my bonus action and dash. It may have been smarter to hide again, but.
Harkin.
Well, did he?
Harkin is going.
Oh, he passed the
ahead.
concentration. Sorry.
He did.
Yeah. Okay.
He's going to move. Oh, I know the right thing. Selected. He's going to move here. Pretty much taking up his entire movement. And he's going to hit at the thing.
You moved 5 feet?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that is your
Actually,
entire
yeah.
movement.
Yep. Unless I dashed, but
It-
this is good enough. And then
Good hit.
I'm going to add Psychic Blades to that.
Oh, nice.
For another 5.
Nice hit.
And because that's the feature, I still have my bonus action, right?
Yes, you do.
Is he within... Slarn within range for Bardic?
I believe it's 60 feet, so yes.
Perfect. And I'll give him... I don't know if I need to select him, but I'm going to select him. A Bardic Inspiration.
Hooray.
Koei will look around and be like, no. Not liking these thorns. And we'll cast Vicious Mockery. Which
Aw.
fails.
You're a big doo-doo head.
And cast Bardic Inspiration on Chuck. From over here, you see the armored figure swing his sword with a blaze of light, striking whatever he's fighting here as it turns, disappears, and then there is a crunching sound of cracking wood as it seems as though it emerges from the tree right next to Sykes. As it swipes out at Sykes, you feel everything go cold momentarily. As you grow weakened, as your strength is reduced by 3.
Oh man, I have recollection of losing a lot of strength.
Just getting shadow flashbacks.
Yeah, exactly. And they look similar. Oh no.
Oh, no.
Oh my god, Harkin got as lucky as you could be. 2d4 and he only lost 2 strength. But after striking you, it passes into the tree. And you do not see where it might emerge, as it has fled. Lavas, crushing the initiative score, turns his bow and fires over here as it breaks concentration on the spike growth
Hooray.
Right?
and steps 5 feet forward.
Wait, so did Harkin take both those hits and go unconscious?
Yep.
Oh, no.
However, Koei comes to the aid as she, spotting Harkin, turns and casts Healing Word. Hops forward and tries to viciously mock him again to no effect. As this dryad-like creature passes easily over the plant growth unaffected, and attacks at Sykes to no success. Solarin.
Only really move, yeah, 5 feet at a time. The light from above. That's an action. God damn it. Okay. So I can only move 5 feet, and then I'll spend 1 light die and hit Harkin. Ooh, for 10. That's pretty good.
Oh,
So I'm down to 1 light die, and I have no bonus actions, so yeah, that is it for me. Where's this guy? Oh, there he is.
Harkin. You see as this robed mage over here is limping very, very slowly forward.
okay. But there doesn't seem to be anything currently around him.
No.
Okay. How far am I from these dice? 55. 65. He's first on a move. Just a bit closer. And he's gonna cast. Let me double check the distance. Yeah. Vicious Mockery at this one. Talking about how the wood he's made of wouldn't be fit for the seat of an outhouse.
Shit!
Uncalled for.
That's good, dry family humor.
Oh my
As
god.
Riem is
Cock and weave.
very... Sykes is unfazed by this. Sykes, you are... how overburdened? You are overburdened. You cannot move.
Okay.
Your movement speed got halved by the overburdenedness, which means your movement speed is 3 feet.
So if I dash, I can move.
You can
5
get
feet.
5.
Okay. So here's what we do. Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna attack this gentleman here with the good old rapier.
I'm sorry.
Damn.
Oh,
Nice.
you're an orc.
Yes. Savage attacks.
Wow. That was a hit.
That was a good one.
Okay,
Unfortunately,
I will pay attention to this because it seems like it auto for the crunchy crits. It seems
Yeah.
like it auto crits your savage attack also.
but it should only be a one-time applied.
Correct. I can't tell for certain. We'll keep track of that. He's dead either way though, so it doesn't apply now. Just don't get your hopes up on dealing 24 damage with a rapier.
Every time I crit. Okay.
Yeah. But we'll find out next time you crit.
Hopefully it's often. That would be great.
That would be great. As you plunge into this one, though, with that thrust, you get in and a nice sharp twist. And as you apply that twist with your blade, kind of like poking a knife into wood and then twisting, you watch as it splinters into half. And then with the tension of splintering and splitting apart, it just kind of snaps and bursts into splinters.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
What is so for bonus action, cunning action, it's dash, disengage, or hide.
Correct.
Hiding's not an option. Disengage would be, but I can't move. Or dash, which draws a
Attack of opportunity.
other bonus actions that don't have anything else. I'm going to just square up with this next guy and stand tall. No, bonus action, take that back. I'm gonna use second wind.
There we go.
Yeah. Hold on, I gotta have something here.
Hey. Second wind is always good call.
Yeah. Man, I can't. Whatever. There it is. Just enough to, shake up a little bit.
You got it on the damage. That's all that counts.
Yeah.
Chuck.
Let's see here. I'm pretty sure I can make it. This is 20 feet right there, so I don't have to burn a key point.
Correct.
Then
Just
how much
dashing.
Then how much movement do I have left? None,
If you
right?
burn a key point, you get 45 more feet now. Otherwise, none.
No, I guess I'll just stay there and end my turn. Move next
Okay.
turn.
Lavas is winning initiative every single round.
He's just.
I'm glad
so
he's on our
initiative.
team. I'm glad he's
Too
on our
cool for
side.
School.
Yeah.
Sykes.
Well, Sykes is gonna kind of look his rapier up and down one more time as he just draws that shield up a little bit, and he's gonna give it one more go at this guy.
Stop it.
I
Too
can't
much poking.
actually hide in plain sight, right? It's like a
You cannot know.
Okay, all right. That's like an
Can't
action.
You
just
gotta have
grab
somewhere
you.
to hide.
Okay.
Can't actually just crouch down in front of this guy.
Yeah, just lay prone and just like act like I'm invisible.
You
Probably a
could
bad
probably
idea.
theoretically
I'm not gonna
dive
do that.
behind that tree, but you'd have to disengage first.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's about all I got this time.
Harkin.
Let's see.
Exactly 60 feet away.
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm actually able to attack this time. I didn't land a single blow last combat encounter.
I think.
Oh
I
yeah,
think
you're
this time,
tanking for the most part.
instead of mocking it, he's gonna use dissonant whispers upon it.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Such a good spell.
Oh, it succeeds.
That would have been decent too.
Still
Very
takes
sad.
8 though. Like such a good spell. Like dissonant whispers.
Oh yeah,
I
it
love
is half, right?
It's one of my
Yep.
favorite spells. Yeah. So good. Especially for a level 1.
Oh yeah. Trying to decide if he should move.
Yeah, especially with it being psychic too, because it's a hard damage
Yeah,
type to
nothing-
resist a lot of times.
Nothing's gonna nothing's gonna get resistance. They probably won't fail, and you can max out at like fucking 24, and they have to
Yeah.
run away if they fail. It's great.
Yeah, and then Harkin's just gonna take a step towards Poe and the others, try to regroup since the movement has greatly separated.
It is
us.
kind of funny how Sykes is like, "Hey, we should probably pass on this one," and now he's like in the thick of it.
He doesn't do anything half-assed. That's what you respect about fucking Sykes. It's like, oh, we're doing this. Okay, I'm gonna. It's still bad range, but I'd rather have some action than not. So I'll move over here. I'll target this guy, and I will try a javelin at disadvantage. Let's see. 12. Yeah, Bardic.
That is a hit, as you peg him for 3 damage there.
Points is points. And I have no bonus, so yeah.
Koei is going to send another Vicious Mockery to no effect and hop forward 10 feet. As with disadvantage from the Vicious Mockery, still gets Sykes with a 21 to hit.
Pretty intense.
That it is. Following up with one more. Oh, damn it.
But
23.
relentless endurance, I won't forget this time.
Yeah?
There we go.
I
Come
think
back.
he didn't get his strength drained again, because that would absolutely suck right now.
He did get his strength drained again.
Did he? I thought he
Yeah,
passed
why?
it.
Yeah.
There's no save.
Oh, okay.
He still took 4.
Yeah, the save is don't get hit. That's the save.
As Sykes is now heavily encumbered, which means at this point your movement speed drops by 20%, which means 20 feet, which means you are moving nowhere even with a dash. And you have disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls and saving throws that use strength, dexterity, or con.
Okay.
As it's will provoke an attack of opportunity, actually. Let's see if it applies a disadvantage automatically.
You want me just regular attack?
Give me a second. I need to put the condition on you. Does it have heavily encumbered? Yes, it does. Okay, go ahead and attack.
Yeah.
Natural 1 as it steps to the tree and disappears as it crunches through it. The mage is limping along over to here, and you realize maybe he's weak on strength too, which is why he's moving so slow. As stepping out from behind this tree appears the other one that had disappeared.
Oh, you cocksucking. Where's this guy?
As he stepped out of view after getting you. Chucky.
I can make it to right here.
I just realized you're missing a feature.
What
Step of the
feature am I
wind.
missing?
Or that's the dash.
Mobile.
It's a big one.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna use my bardic inspiration for this.
Why are you attacking that mage?
Oh, is he? I thought he was a bad guy.
No, he's a friend.
He might be, but he has not
we don't
attacked
know.
you yet.
Oh well,
Yeah.
god damn it! I didn't want to attack him. I thought he was the one doing all this shit.
Like, well, if he wasn't, then he is now.
I'm gonna fuck this guy up in particular.
The mage
He's
is like,
just
I'm
like,
here to help, guys.
Why?
And then just like catches a roundhouse right to the back of the dome.
Who am I missing? Where's the bad guy here? Do I not see him?
Somewhere. No.
Yeah, they melted into the
You
trees.
see one on the other side of the tree over here.
Oh well, I'm not going back in that fucking mess.
I see like Chuck's doing the Mortal Kombat stance, and he's just like standing outside the fire kind of thing.
God damn it! Why is he all the way over there? Well, I burned my movement, so I can't even do anything then. So I guess that's the end of my turn. I
Okay,
spent like 4 rounds thinking about how I was gonna get down to this guy, and then you guys, oh no, he's not a bad guy.
I mean, if you'd asked.
I
Yeah,
thought you
sure.
were
I mean,
going
I
to
feel like
help
that's
him.
that
we
is
never put
a
that idea in your head.
this is
I've
this
been
is,
listening
I feel
this
like,
whole time too. I'm like, who is casting all this magic? Like, it must be the mage down there, who's badly injured. That's who my friends would be attacking.
Okay, so
I
Chuck,
mean,
you
9
were
times out of 10, that would work.
you were missing your starting feat. It didn't port over. You are going to appreciate this though.
yes.
That's the feat that you had. As your movement speed is in fact at level 3, 55 feet.
Oh, that's pretty awesome. Okay,
Smokes, bro.
I'll take another 10.
Compared to everyone else's 30.
So that means I can move
Mediocrity.
like, I can move like here, like somewhere right here.
Just
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
So the difficult terrain part doesn't work for this, but there will be lots of other times where difficult terrain is a thing. And if you take an action or a bonus action to dash, you ignore difficult terrain, so you just go full speed.
Ooh, but not this time. So
Not
me,
with
am I right,
plant
guys?
growth. Plant growth is different from difficult terrain,
Gotcha.
so it doesn't actually apply.
Okay, yeah, whatever. I mean, either way, I have no more movement.
Right, because it
Sorry about
applies.
that.
It applies like the static number of like 4 feet for 1 foot. Is that-
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why you could argue spike growth doubles it, because that is difficult terrain.
Ah,
So
okay.
you can make an argument that it actually compounds together since it's 2 different features. But I don't.
That'd be some bullshit. Yeah.
It's a little bit bullshit, but I also at the same time get it.
Yeah.
Oh no!
If it was us,
works in
if
the
it was
rules,
us
but
using
it is
it,
player bullshit.
yeah, exactly. If it was us using it, we would want it to fly all day long.
I am really happy with it. I found a feature that just automatically re-rolls at the top of the turn order. So much nicer.
Nice.
Koei gingerly takes half a step forward, looking at the thorns, and goes, "Nah, fuck this. Let me know if you need my help, guys."
Sykes is waving his hand indiscriminately right now.
I can't see you. Chuck. So if Chuck were to dash and use a key point, that would come to 165 feet, which would get you 40 feet of real movement.
Like right now.
Yeah. If you just dash, you'll get 25.
God damn it.
It's really fucking slow.
I'm gonna taunt him. I'm just gonna be like, "Hey, you little piece of shit! You fucking hide in there, cause you know if I was in there, I'd beat your ass. Come out here and fight me like a real man." Or thing. I don't know what you are. I thought this guy was the bad guy.
He
like-
just turns and looks at you and he's like, "Really?
You're
The
like,
fire bolts at the enemy didn't clue you in."
Yeah, at the very beginning.
You make some good points. It was my fault, man.
He just like shakes his head as Lavas has an arrow drawn and is just like looking for anyone to poke their head out with a ready to action there. Solarin.
All right. Well, and it sort of auto-applied, but if he casts spike rope and spike growth, and I move 5 feet this way, that damage wouldn't have applied, would it?
It would, because you're traversing those 5 feet, but just those
Okay.
5.
Okay. So it gets hit there. That's all this movement. Slarn is just not getting into combat range these days, so he's just gonna cast or use his last luck die. And Sykes for 9.
It's a biggin. I'll take that. It's fantastic. The hand waving slows down a little bit as he feels a little better.
Yep, and that's it for me.
Yeah, that light casting is a good healing ability for sure.
It is nice. It's very clutch. I like it.
The Claghammer's looking around though, and he looks pointedly at Chuck and he says, "I'm going to prepare to cast magic if I see any of these bastards. Do I have your permission, or will you hit me?"
I haven't decided yet.
He gives you a dirty look, shakes his head, and then he's still precast, as you can see him holding a firebolt literally in his hand right now.
I'm trying to make him flinch.
His
Like,
eye is
I'm about to attack,
twitching.
I'm like,
He's like, but he's still concentrating on casting the firebolt. Sykes, the absolute crippled, who is at 2 strength.
Sykes the cripple. Can I actually see this? I know that you said that the others couldn't, but I see him on the map. This guy right here. I just don't know if he's in my actual line of sight.
He's not in your actual line of sight.
Okay,
Sorry.
that's fine. I am going to prepare to shoot my short bow at anything that moves.
You are
Yeah.
literally prone on the ground as your carry weight is 30 pounds and you're carrying 113.
I'm like, everything I have is just going into this short bow.
And you're you've got it half drawn to your elbow.
Yeah, exactly. It's not even coming all the way across the chest.
No.
Like even like my posted arm is bent. Like it's just weak at this point. But that's what I'm doing. If I see any of these things come out of the woodwork, if you will, I'm getting them.
Harkin.
Harkin is going to hold an action to use Dissonant Whispers on any
Okay.
of those shadow creatures that come within his range.
Readying a leveled spell requires consuming it.
Yep.
So it is
You want me to-
precast right now. No, you can hold it, just being clear, if for some reason you're unable to, you've still burnt it.
Yep.
As emerging over here appears one of these creatures. As it comes moving towards Solarin, the readied actions go off. It's over here initially.
Let me double check. Yep, 60 feet, so he's definitely within range. So I guess he'll do his held action.
Oh, Sykes!
Or is he slightly far away?
I don't think I get sneak attack, but that'd be
You
great.
do not. If you have disadvantage for any reason, sneak
Yeah.
attack doesn't apply regardless of other conditions. Harkin?
You said he was going to move within range, right? Originally?
Is he out of range?
Yeah, he's
Oh, yes.
5
Okay.
feet.
Yep, go ahead now.
Okay, because I was like, I thought he was in range, and then I was like, no, you can't use this. You fool.
It's kind of great. He catches an arrow.
And
He
he
steps forward.
poofs into splinters when you cast it.
Oh,
Teamwork.
Makes that dream work.
Yeah.
I think if either one of us missed, it was not going to be a kill.
As another one appears here, Lavas takes his shot.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, dropping the spike growth as it breaks his concentration as it comes up on Harkin from behind. With a miss and a hit. As Harkin is at 3 strength.
Oh, he doesn't go prone, right? Is he still able to stand?
You are heavily encumbered, but you're not prone yet.
Okay.
Man, Lavas.
Oh,
And with a twang, he does not kill it. Oh, shit.
it's another turn.
Nope.
It poofs over to here, passing through the tree as it comes at Solarin.
Come at
Ooh,
me,
2
bro.
misses.
Cometh toward me, brethren.
Koe turns, stomps her hoof, and says, "No!" But it doesn't work. Sykes.
Sykes is gonna bonus action hide. Can I do
No.
that? No. Okay.
You are like prone, unmoving on the ground.
Yeah, I feel like it'd be a great hiding spot.
And there's a
You just,
trunk
like,
over here.
you just, like,
He can-
snarps. You try snow angeling so that you're below the surface of the snow.
Just sink in slower.
He just pretending to be a corpse.
It was worth a shot. If you'd have said yes, then I'd have made the roll. All right. All right. Well, I'm gonna weakly draw my short bow, and I'm gonna give it one go. Here we go. Yeah.
Ooh, and that kills him. As the last of them dies, hilariously, the plant growth stays.
Oh God.
It is not concentration.
Sykes is like kind of rolls over his back, and he's just he doesn't feel fatigued. I imagine he just physically
So
can't
frail.
move. Yeah.
Even as like you try to roll away, the vines are like grabbing at you and trying to pull you back flat on your back.
Yeah, Sykes is just gonna. I fear I may fall victim to the plants.
Guys, I can't move. I need help.
Coming up behind you, the armored figure comes by Chuck. As Chuck, you realize it is the knight Palikar that you met at his tent. As he's coming over, he looks very sore and frail as well, and he gives you a nod and he says, "I had not thought to encounter you again. At least not here. Though I must say I'm rather grateful."
Yeah, the last time we saw him, he was down in shots like it was nothing.
I hope you've not fared too poorly. That's directed at Chuck.
Wait, what did he say? Why didn't I hear that?
You saying that he'd not thought to encounter you here, nor so soon, but he hopes that you've not been injured too badly.
Oh no, I'm fine. I don't know about the guy over there playing dead, doing the snow angels. He might be hurt.
Hurt, and I just feel as though the strength is left in my body.
He sounds pretty sad too.
I'm gonna spend the couple minutes it takes to get me across, and I'm gonna try to pick up Harkin and move him outside the blank earth.
This is so embarrassing.
It takes so long.
Mm.
You
They're
guys are
probably
all
just-
so winded when you get out of there too. You're just like,
Why are we so out of shape?
But as I get out and sort of approach planet car, I'm gonna go up, sort of angrily grab my collar. It's like, you, as a traveler, require distress on your suicidal mission to get yourself killed, and you almost had 2 of our own fucking die at your hand.
What?
Where? Why call for aid if you are on this suicidal path?
The mage in robes looks over and like, what the hell is your problem? As he says, friend, we didn't call for aid. We'd not thought that anyone would be nearby, but we would have had it in hand.
Sykes just
This-
calls out, could have left him. Should have left him.
Still,
Palikar holds up a hand and he says, not that we are ungrateful for your assistance, but I had no desire to endanger you in getting dragged into this.
not to endanger us, but to endanger this mage here. You had this suicidal path ever since we left the tavern, and you dare try to recruit this one to follow you?
Good friends, I fear you misunderstand. I do not wish to die at every turn. I wish to die for something worthy. I am not going to simply lay down and throw away my life at the first twisted dryad that I encounter.
You tell him, Palatar.
That doesn't seem true to the predicament that you were in. You were absolutely about to lay down your lives to these creatures before we arrived.
The mage pulls back his hood, and you can see that he appears to be an earth genasi based off of the reddish color of his skin with almost clay-like texture and the hardened, earthy dreadlocks that he has tied up. And he says, Sir Palikar here acquitted himself most favorably and endangered himself to spare me. I was in the back, flinging spells at them while he engaged all 3 at once. He's done nothing to endanger me unduly. We had not expected to encounter these strange creatures. But he is an honorable man, and I cannot abide you speaking to him in that fashion.
Solar, perhaps,
Just by-
perhaps you need to take a breather here for a second. Just remember,
sick.
we chose to join this fight. We didn't have to. We weren't seen until we ran in.
Fine. You talk to this fool.
Palatar, my good friend. I
I'm
see you're
storming
still out
off.
here doing good work, helping those in need.
Attempting to do so where I can, friend. Just because my son is no doubt dead does not mean I wish to be meaningless and worthless, quite the contrary. It is my calling to continue to lend aid everywhere that I may. I appreciate you've done much the same with me.
No problem. We saw what was going on, and since we couldn't see what you guys were swinging at, we figured maybe you were overwhelmed. Didn't expect so many of these foul creatures to just pop out of nowhere.
The Claghammer mage, the Earth Genasi, kind of snorts and he says, Clearly you are new to the Cairn Coast then.
White, I can't recall any of the beasts I've faced do this to me before.
I've mostly stayed within the city walls until recently. Only
Hmm.
sticking to safe paths.
There is an abundance of foul beast beyond the walls of civilization here. I was on my way to Durgrim and commissioned this fine knight to accompany me as escort.
Oh, you're going to go see the orcs?
Sykes like
They-
trying to like lift his head forward because he's like, I feel like he's just kind of leaned up on his pack right now. He just like, what business do you have in Durgheim?
I'll have you know I was invited. They wish to discuss magical theory as it has begun to manifest itself here. They hired me for consultation.
Sykes kind of nods in approval. Oh, it seems the members of Orc, the coalition, have finally gotten their head unburied from their rear.
Whilst literal and industrious, they have attempted to be ingenuitive where they may. I would not speak so unfavorably of their development. This is quite new to all of us. Before arriving here in the Cairn Coast, the best magic I could perform was prestidigitation.
Yes, prestigiation.
Perhaps you would care to accompany us to Durgrim. I do not have funds to hire you, but we would all fare more safely if we traveled together. Just a thought.
It is kind of out of the way of our intended path, but given our injuries,
Quite a bit.
the number of fights we've been in since we came out this way, perhaps numbers is a better advantage than trying to get back to Volshnu over the day, especially given mine and Sykes' current condition. Can't go anywhere at the moment.
Well, also perhaps it's best if we make good on our current affairs before we move on to Durgheim.
I mean, we had no timeline on this. Perhaps you're right, Sykes. I think for dollars we probably don't have to set up camp here for the time being until we recover. Not doing much of anywhere right now, are we?
Palikar looks at you and he says, even if we do not travel together, I think it'd be best if we all serve each other in the watch until we recoup. We are also both weakened from that encounter.
Yes, very much so, Palikar.
Shall I invite you to rest with us then? I have a good bottle of strong wine that I'd be happy to share with you.
Oh, such a good offer. I can't possibly say no to that. I'm sure the others would agree with my sentiment.
If but only I could lift the cup. I can't do anything right now.
We will drag you under this fire. Drag the others onto this fire. We will protect them for the night. I'm still not happy with you, Plagar. I fear you've led this one astray.
Palikar gives you a sympathetic smile and he says, I respect your conviction, even if I disagree. I hope that you can see me to be a honorable man who would wish to do nothing afoul. But he sought my company, not the other way around, friend. Please take a drink as a gesture, regardless that I do not bear you ill will, even with your judgments of me.
Following strict host and guest guidelines, we'll take a drink. You have nothing to fear through me, through the night.
I know that you are an honorable man as well and would not strike a sleeping man down.
Of course not.
That would be a very foul act indeed.
We shall break bread, but nothing more.
You do not care for the wine, then?
Well, I mean, that's part of it. It comes as like
He
a
kind of like
combo meal.
retracts.
Yeah.
No, no, no,
The
no.
numbers.
We'll let Solaren get to
But
taste the.
I would really like the wine.
You declined my offer. Too bad.
Damn it! You guys. Pat's in the corner, eats his bread as everybody else enjoys the wine.
Amazing.
And as you sit down to make camp, hoping that you are able to recoup some strength, is there anything else you do with your downtime?
I think Harton's gonna start, as well as he can, given his diminished strength, start trying to write down a ballad about this fight.
Sykes is he's just gonna kind of look at everyone's boots and look at his own. He's helpless at this point to do anything about it, but he's still gonna take some notes.
As you're staring at the Genasi's boots, he kind of catches you staring and he says, take a picture. It'll last longer.
Very well.
I'm sorry, he has such a weird boot fetish.
Minus
We're on our feet. We're on our feet all the time, all
For
of the
three-
day.
For 3 gold, I'll take the boots off.
I care not for the feet. I care for the protection of the feet.
Then he thinks for a minute and he's like, 3 gold to leave him on.
Sykes like just lazily rolls his head over, starts looking over at like Lovas's boots and Palikar's boots.
But I'm not gonna pay for what I can get for free.
It's kind of strange what a good pair of boots can do for you, but mind your own, I suppose. I'll mind mine.
As Paligar goes around collecting wood, he gets a campfire going. I fear we don't have any tents for shelter, but you can enjoy the warmth here. Though he does like try to find somebody more friendly to sit next to.
I'm not
As
very
the-
good at it,
So,
but
so not
during-
Solar.
Yeah, not Silharan.
I'm not very good at it, but in the downtime, I'll probably take the walnut stone out of it and try to sort of tap into its power, or attune with sort of the rock, and sort of try to define its purpose.
You're able to learn its properties as it is faintly thrumming with magical charge. It almost serves as a battery of magical charge to a limited
Okay.
quantity.
I'm gonna, and it might be a downtime activity working along the way, but try to be able to tap into that.
This is from the walnut one you said?
Yeah, just
Okay.
all one I picked up. Yeah.
As you spend some time with that, could I get an Arcana check from you?
Yeah.
While you can sense power within it, the form of harnessing it seems to elude you. As you spend a long time holding it and studying and concentrating, you know there is something to it, but how to access it is well beyond your grasp.
Makes sense.
The Genasi comes and sits down by the fire, warming himself as well. Harkin and Sykes can crawl to the fire. Once they get out of the plant growth, they can move. Let's see. Sykes has a 10-foot movement speed, and Harkin has a 10-foot moving speed.
And that's outside the plant.
Outside the plant growth, yeah.
I think Harkin is going to crawl, so he's like kind of next to Palatar, and he's going to go over the ballad with him. Since his insistence last time, he's going to ask if he wants his name replaced with Tangles again, or if he would like this achievement to be his own.
It would bring me great joy if you were to put my son's name. He was a great, brave warrior who did not earn songs through no fault of his. I would wish to make up for that.
Very, very much indeed. And he'll continue kind of like writing the song and going over bits and pieces with Palatar, trying to see how he feels about the story.
What would Chuck be doing? If anything.
Please tell me he's
Bumping
trying
up
to
the
trim the
snow.
overgrown grass.
He's like just sitting here eyeing him. I think Chuck, I don't understand why this father is, making excuses for his sons for adventuring skills, Chuck hasn't figured out like that all adventurers aren't famous. Like he thinks all of them are like, if you're an adventurer, you're famous. So he's not getting why his dad's making so many excuses. So I'm a little I'm looking at him like they're shifty.
Okay. I could just imagine Chuck being pulling out some tweezers and trying to clean up all of the plant growth, trimming it down like bonsai. But
Yeah,
just meditating. I'm taking care of the plants in the background.
he's crawling through them.
Yeah, in fact, that's what he's doing. But he's like eavesdropping on the conversation, and he's like silently judging. He's doing what he did,
What he's used to doing.
after
Exactly.
40 minutes of beautiful, painstaking work, the plant growth disappears.
Son of a bitch.
As it lasts for an hour.
Everything is temporary. Everything is temporary. Everything is temporary.
Palikar looks over and he says, "So, what exactly, if you do not mind the inquiry, were you doing in these parts anyways?"
Who's he talking to?
All of you.
Well, I guess technically we can't speak too openly about what we did. We did sign a
We went
agreement with
swimming.
someone.
There's a great stream over there that it's a little cold, but once you get used to it, it's just really refreshing. We were just out having a swim.
Sykes
I mean,
is gonna use the opportunity to kind of like shift the conversation and just share like it did seem as though we were potentially intruding on some other's tribal area or territory. As some of the are they Delwyn
Yes.
came and made open threats for us merely occupying that area.
Pretenders, followers of the old.
They are whimsical, flighty, and temperamental, it's true, but not all bad. Do not judge them too harshly, Palikir says as he is using a whetstone on his sword as he's sitting with you all. Just because they lack our temperament and caution does not mean that they are foolhardy.
Yes, because what could those who have watched this land for hundreds of years know of temperament?
He looks at Solarin and says, "You speak with haste befitting your race, as you are overly quick to judge, like a hormonal teenager."
Bares his teeth.
Your kind have grace and goodness to them, just as they have sternness and prejudice. I, for one, bear them no ill will, as he continues to sharpen his blade to a honed edge.
Just sits with the last statement, just like, you're right, but I ain't gonna fucking talk about it.
But at that point, Palikar rolls over, pulling out a blanket to lay on the snow, and lays down, as he's badly in need of rest.
Yeah, Sykes will do the same. He's definitely worse for wear.
And before heading in to take watches and the like, I think that is where we will end for today.
Nice.
That was a pretty good session.
Yeah, that was actually
Yeah.
really fun.
Sykes got quite close to dying, though,
Yeah,
from that
very.
from that strength drain, and that's not the first time that's happened to you.
No, it's not. No, the last time I did die, but not because of that. So
Every combat encounter except for the first, Harkin has been knocked down. To like.
What do you
zero.
expect of a bard?
Yeah, he is kind of just running in there and stabbing things.
I mean, I
As
kind
long
of
as
did
all
it
the
to
melee
myself too. 'Cause
characters
I
were
did kind of.
stuck in the back, and they were just like, I can't help.
I did
Too
feel-
far away.
I mean, Sykes is kind of a brawnier, roguish
yeah.
character versus your typical rogue. Sleuthy down.
But yeah, running around as a monk trying to outrun like 50 shadows.
Oh yeah, that was intense.
Strength is one of my favorite moments of any time still.
That was like such a.
Survived all the way
I
through it, though.
Yeah, the fact that I was able to get all the way to the other side of that pit, where in Thimbershard's lair was like,
Just like zigzagging around using all of your monk movement speed to stay out of their reach.
Yeah, like I'm disengaging. I'm gonna like attack. Well, I think I had like the stalker, not stalker, scout. I think he was like also like the
Yeah.
scout rogue. So like when I was like hitting, I couldn't take like opportunity attacks or something like that.
Mhm.
So it was like
skirmish.
as I was like
or something,
as I was like trying to like move around the battlefield and take down what I could, I was still like moving around and yeah, that was
That was still like 4 sessions before that character died.
intense.
So it worked. The strategy worked out fine.
Yeah. Oh, that was a good session too.
hmm
Whew. Harrowing.
All right, everyone.
Well, yeah.
I'll catch you guys
Yep.
next week.
Yeah. If
Unless
anybody
you're
wants to,
unless you're
anyone
down
wants-
for having a one shot tomorrow.
yeah.
I will have to. It'll have to be a game time decision because I
Okay.
don't know about childcare tomorrow, so I don't know if I've got her or my mom's got her or whatever.
No worries. One good game tonight, guys.
Yeah.
Later,
Good
boys.
game. See ya.
Super fun.
See ya.
Bye, guys.
Bye.